got to do this at any age, but at 17 it's pretty amazing. So please give a warm welcome to Mr. Cameron Kraft.
I really don't like how people just look at me and then assume that I'm bad at sex. Because I'm like really good. Like really good. I think. I'm not really sure. But I don't like how people just look at me and then they just assume that I'm bad. So right now I'm going to prove to all of you that I'm really good at sex. Okay, I'm going to need a volunteer from the audience. I really only have one experience with sex. Well, it wasn't technically sex. Okay, I was in 7th grade, right? And I had this friend, and he had a girlfriend, and she was very disgusting. Let me just put that out there. You know how like a little girl will have a ton of Barbie dolls? And then she'll just have like the one with no clothes on and has like gross hair and bite marks and sticky. She was that Barbie doll. She's very disgusting. One night her parents weren't home, so he went over and they did a little fornicating. And the next day he came to school and he told me about it. My first thought was, okay, you were 12 years old. She looks and smells like a rotten piece of shit. You are disgusting. I wasn't gonna say that though, so I just asked him, okay, how did it feel? And then he looked at me like right into my eyes and said, Cameron, it felt like a Nerf football. I was not expecting him to say that. Like, of any example, I would have assumed he would have given me any other possible example. But no, he said it felt like a Nerf football. And I started to think about it a little bit, couldn't stop thinking about it. So that night, I went with my mom to Target and I bought a Nerf football. And I went and I found the biggest one possible, because you know, I like them thick, right? I went home, got some scissors, getting ready to cut a little hole in this thing. But I was having some trouble, so I went to my sister's room. I asked her if she could cut a hole in this football. She asked me how big the hole needed to be, and I hadn't thought about that yet. So I went to the bathroom, got some measuring tape, went back, and I was like, okay, so about 4 inches, that's a little generous. 3 inches long, about 1 inch wide. So she cut the hole. Don't say, aw, I'm okay with it. Cut the hole. Went back to my room and I started pumping, you know? Just went back. It was really, really painful though. I realized I may need some sort of lubricant or something, so I went to the bathroom, being the sexual genius that I am, obviously. Got a bottle of hand soap, went to the football, started pumping it, pumped it some more. I was going at it. I was about 30 seconds in when I heard a knock on my door. Door opens, my dad walks in, he's about to tell me something, but then he stops and sees me completely naked with a football on my penis and then a giant cloud of soap bubbles underneath me. And he stops for a second and just says, are you fucking a Nerf football? And I don't know what it was, maybe I was just really excited, but I just went, and then he stood there some more, and then just stared at me, and said, you didn't just come into that Nerf football, did you? At that point, I just started crying, like tears coming down my face. I just was so sad, it was very embarrassing. He ran out of the room, probably wishing he had had another daughter. I was just standing there, completely naked, with a football on my penis, a giant cloud of hand soap, crying a lot. Do you remember that happening, Dad? My dad's in the audience, by the way. He remembers. We haven't really talked about it since then. Being completely honest, though, best sex I've ever had. Okay, thank you. That's my time.
me say his name. I'm so excited for it. Cameron Kraft, everybody, please. 17 years old. All right, man. Well, I promised something special. You said you were 21, man. Here's